Hello, my name is Nick Bertozzi, and on behalf of the teaching team, I'd like to welcome you to RBE 2001. Um, I'm going to just point out a few things so that you can get started working on some of the materials for the course. So this is the home page on the Canvas site, and there's the syllabus that you can take a look at that. And I'll just point out that this Google Calendar here will be filled out soon with the times that the essays are available, the TAs are available, and the my conference hours as well will be on here. So you'll be able to look at that. And if on Canvas, we'll also be showing you when different things are due. So you can see there's already these various these are FC, that's for class quizzes. That are already posted there. So these quizzes, the first 5 are on with regard to some Solidworks topics, and then the quiz 6 is on the Mathcad equation solver. So let me just let me go to modules. Okay, and so so the first of all, let's look at this remote desktop and frame VDI and SolidWorks install. So to use Mathcad or MATLAB, you can go to remote desktop, or Mathcad you can actually go to the software store, and as long as you're on campus or have the VPN on, you can use that. You can use Mathcad. You can install it on your own computer and use it on your own computer. So using it with remote desktop is pretty easy as well. Now for SolidWorks, you can either use the frame VDI, or you can download it you can install it on your own computer, or you can go to there's different computers on campus that have it. For instance, in Higgins Labs, I think it's HL230 is a large computer lab. A lot of times there's classes going on in there, but I think they'll have the schedule posted at some point, and so that you can use that. Also, the Innovation Studio Lab 103. We've asked IT to install SolidWorks and Mathcad and MATLAB on those computers. I just got an email from them that they had to remove 4 of the computers and take them back to work on. They were trying to install SolidWorks, and they were having a problem with it. But anyways, that should be available there as well. So if you have a good computer, especially if you have a good graphics card and enough RAM, then you might want to install it on your own computer. And so there's links here how to do that. Right, you have to go to this drive right here, the storage drive, and I found that it takes a really long time. I think you want to make sure you're on campus when you try and download this. It takes a long time to download it. As I said, you want to make sure you have a good computer, and then there's also the serial number that you have to put in. Yeah, so on the other hand, you can use this frame VDI, and I have a video that explains how to use that with OneDrive. So right back here, so this takes you to, I'll just click on that, see, so that you just have to click on that and then go to access frame VDI. But the problem is, and this is a really good computer, remote computer that works really well with SolidWorks. The problem though is that when you log out, you lose anything that's on the drive of that computer itself. So you can download stuff and then re-upload it back to your OneDrive or whatever separately, but it's kind of a hassle, especially in SolidWorks. When you create an assembly, each part has its own file, so you don't just import or download the assembly file. You have to get all the part files, and if you have drawings, you have to get all those as well. So the best thing is to just use it with your OneDrive, and it's a little bit it's somewhat complicated to get that set up, and it takes a few minutes. So every time you use the frame VDI, you'll have to connect with your OneDrive. But the beauty of that is, then you open the files right from your OneDrive, and when you save them, everything is saved to your OneDrive. You don't have to like upload or download anything else. So this is a video. It's 10 minutes long, and students always tell me that you can watch my videos at least 1.5 speed. So it's less than 10 minutes then. But anyways, in terms of using SolidWorks, it's Frame VDI, or you can install it on your computer, or you can find a computer on campus. Okay, so that's this information here. And okay, and then there's this link to additional materials. So for the quizzes, you want to go to the playlist for SolidWorks. I'm also including these files. So these aren't links to YouTube videos. These are actual format files and template files, which you can use. You don't have to use them. And so if you download them and then just change the name, because obviously like the format files for drawings or have my name in them, you want to change your name. And I also find it useful when you're saving files like this, these are the template files or the format files, is to put your initials in front so that you don't, sometimes if you're on a particular desktop, say in the lab, and you create a template, you might inadvertently save it to the hard drive on that machine, and then when you go to use a different computer, you're not going to have access to it. So I always like to put initials in front of my template files so that I can be sure, when I go to open them in SolidWorks and I see the NB, in this case, I know that it's I have the right template. So anyways, for the SolidWorks quizzes, what you'll first do is watch the videos, right? And I'm going to update the welcome video here. So in other words, like for the first quiz, if I go back to assignments, right, so for that first quiz, it says watch from that playlist, basically video A and video B. They're each about 5 minutes long, so it looks like there's a lot of them. But what you want to do is watch them, and it's good if you have two computers, right, or at least two screens. So you can watch the video and then open up SolidWorks and try the stuff that was done in the video. And we are going to be using SolidWorks. You'll have to model your whole robot in SolidWorks and actually be able to do some analysis on it too, like you'll do motion studies to determine how much torque you need in your 4-bar mechanism, things like that. And you'll need to have bill of materials and exploded assembly views and things. So this is all stuff that you're going to use for the project. Anyways, the first quiz you actually have 2 attempts, the other ones you don't, just to kind of get you up to speed. So you'll have 2 attempts, and when you're trying to go through the videos or whatever and learn SolidWorks, you can work with somebody else. But when you take the quiz, it has to be your own answer. And by the way, the quiz will, after you take the quiz, you'll be able to see the correct answers, which ones you got wrong and what the correct answers were. So you're on your honor not to work with somebody else and maybe take turns seeing what the right answers are and then passing on the right answers. No, integrity is your most important attribute as a professional engineer. So I'm expecting you to only answer the questions based on your own understanding, not finding out what the answers are from somebody else. So anyways, for each of these quizzes, you just, like if I look at the second one, it says watch C, D, E, and F, and then take that quiz. And then in the same way, you'll watch, when you do the Mathcad, right, it says make sure you do the playlist up through these 3 right here, right? So if I go back to modules, and right, if I scroll down, right, Mathcad introduction playlist. So on this one, you want to make sure you watch down through the force analysis 1, 2, and 3 before you take that quiz. So again, we are going to push pretty hard in the beginning of the term because we want to get through a lot of material so that you can work on your project. It's kind of tricky. It's a 7-week term, and you need lots of time to work on your project. So we want to try and get through a lot of material up front so that you'll be ready to do a good job on your project. But anyways, all right, and there's other material here that is useful. There's an introduction to object-oriented programming that I had some students do. There's this playlist for C programming. And this is a really nice play. It's a step-by-step right from the beginning of learning C programming. So you can look at that if you want to brush up, or if you want to, if you're not, if coding isn't your strength, you might want to look at that. There's a force analysis playlist here. So if I click on that, and this is just from Professor Stafford. So you probably have already watched this playlist in RBE 1001, but we're going to do a lot of stuff with force analysis. So if you want to review that, you can do that. Okay, and let's go to modules again. So there's also some lectures here from Ken Stafford on force analysis, so you can use those as review if you want to. Under lab information right now, if you have to do any soldering, this is a great video that Kevin did. If you're rusty on using an oscilloscope, this is a really good primer. In this one, it also has some videos on using the Tektronix oscilloscope, and we also have a video on using the function generator. So these are videos that you can watch and review how to use some of the equipment. Okay, and before I forget, I know that some of you are already pretty expert at using Solidworks, so you might find the quiz is fairly easy. If you've never used Solidworks before, you might want to just start out with the Solidworks tutorials found here. Just open up Solidworks and click on Help, and then Tutorials. Okay, and then there's these 3 lessons: Lesson 1, Parts; Lesson 2, Assemblies; Lesson 3, Drawings. So you can click on those, and it takes you through step by step how to create parts. And let's see, I'll just do one more. So in these little things that are highlighted here, like if you click on it, it shows you, right? I just clicked on Zoom to fit there, and it highlights up here. So they're tutorials that are pretty easy to use. And if you've never used SolidWorks before, again, I would recommend that you do Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 3, and then start the playlist that I pointed out earlier. Okay, another thing that I'll just point out is there are lab design teams, and the teams should be, we're shooting to have teams of 3 people, and if you already have a couple of students that you want to work with, maybe you have similar schedules, so it will make it easier for you to work together. Then you can go ahead and add yourself. So just pick any team. Do not add teams, right? We already have 21. If we need more, then I'll add them. But so in other words, just click on Lab Design Team, and then just find an empty team, and just say if you have 2 other people, they just all drag your names into that team. Okay, so again, you can get started on these assignments. Sorry, I should be back in student view. Right, get started on these assignments. The best way is to watch a couple of videos and try it yourself on SolidWorks, or in this case Mathcad down here, and then take the quiz. So we're looking forward to working with you, and just email me if you have any questions.